This is Mark McNease in New York City with my co-host
Rick Rose in cold, blizzardy Shreveport, Louisiana.
80 degrees, that's what you call cold. You said it was 80 degrees the other day. Didn't you?
That was the other day. Yeah, it started at 78 when I made that post. Walked into the Symphony. Walked out of the Symphony's holiday show here in Shreveport. It dropped to 43 degrees in 2 hours. No lie.
Wow. Here it fell like the same thing. It dropped like 30 degrees the other day. It was so funny because you just did that Japanese out of sync thing. But that's fine. It's kind of fun. You're fine now. So anyways, we got to tell people because some people can see us, some people can't. We are going back on YouTube. There's just been overwhelming demand for us to get back on the YouTube. It's been a year since we put one up, but we're going there, Rick, and it's going to be super fun. And I don't think it's.
And you're obviously more prepared because you dressed for the role. I'm still in that radio voice
That's
kind of mode.
true.
Although I did put you've got the Santa hat on in case people aren't watching us on YouTube. They need a week to catch up. But look, I did wear green glasses.
That's right. Very Christmassy, and you're right.
Yes, it is.
You always got to remember when you're doing an audio and a video that they can't. When you reference things that they can't see. So for people who can't see me and people who can, I'm wearing my Santa Claus hat. It's a tradition on the Twist podcast. And I've got my Janis Joplin t-shirt on because nothing says Christmas like a dead rock star.
Oh, Mark, that's terrible. We share a birthday, she and I. It's January 19th with her, Bette Midler, Edgar Allan Poe, E.E. Cummings, a lot of dark people.
Well, and I see bits of all of them in you.
Oh, yeah, right. Where's my Bette Midler? In my nose? Not my voice.
In your attitude.
In my attitude. Well, speaking of which, we have to watch this clothing optional podcast now. Because if it's clothing optional, we're on YouTube. I am not bearing my chest, Mark.
Well, not right now. We did talk previously about doing a topless show, but we haven't done it yet. Give me a chance to lose weight because I've been doing protein shakes in the morning, except when we went to California and Las Vegas last week. It was a fabulous, fabulous visit.
I bet.
Of course, I just ate. I wouldn't start out that way, but it happens. But I am back in the city, and I'm back on my protein shakes, and I love them. I mean, protein powder, soy milk, bananas, strawberries. It's a great way to start the day.
Yeah, I got bananas in mine, too, for magnesium. I do blackberries. I do coconut, sometimes almond milk. I'll vary. There's cashew milk out there, too, Mark, which is so good. Sometimes I have a little chocolate. Sometimes I add cinnamon. You know what, though, Mark? I got to tell you something. Feels good to be sitting here this time of year, doesn't it?
You mean alive?
Yeah, alive and well as we enter the holiday season. We're going to chat more about that a little later. And it just feels good. When I drink my coffee, as I'm doing now from this Discover Media Works.
I was going to say you're plugging your brother's business. Isn't that
Yeah,
theirs?
Well, it's theirs. But, yes, I know what you're going to – where's your Emmy
No,
Award?
the
Show
Emmys.
it,
I'm
Mark.
going to say I'm so happy that the show that you and I co-created 15 years ago is still on. It's a kid show and still a win in the Emmys, baby. I got one. It'll do because I'm not greedy. I don't need, 15 Emmys on my shelf, but one is nice.
Yeah, they're expensive because you have to buy them. People don't realize that. I mean, you win them, you win them rightfully, but when you want the actual award, unless your name's on there and they don't list everybody that's involved in the creative team. But yeah, they just won one, about 3 weeks ago. So it's still a great show. But when I do this, now I wasn't really showing off his mug. See how it steams my glasses? I do two things at once. I'm a multitasker.
I like that.
See
I like that. It gives you a spooky look.
Yeah. Well, wrong season, but who wants to be spooky?
I want to just plug this show before we get into the podcast because Frank and my sister turned me on to it out there in Ojai, California.
Uh-huh.
And it's called Good Behavior with Michelle Dockery from Downton Abbey. It's on TNT. It's so good.
Don't know it.
She plays this. She's on parole, but she is constantly under danger of going back into prison because she's not a good girl. She does not good things. She drinks, she gets loaded, she steals, but she ends up hooking up with this hitman, not by choice initially, but it's really, I'm hooked. We've watched 3 episodes, and I can't wait to watch another, but I can't watch it without Frank because he's hooked also. So it's called Good Behavior. It's on TNT. It rocks.
That's cool. There are so many good news shows out there, but it is funny when you're spoused, you have this allegiance that you're not gonna. The bell hasn't gone away.
Oh yeah, no, we got to tell people we got a bell. That's part of our shtick.
And look what I'm doing now, Mark. Now that I have video, I can play with shapes and sizes.
I know what that shape is too.
It looks kind of nasty. It looks like my mother is birthing me right now.
It does. It does. Here comes Rick through the birth
Here he
canal.
comes. Ooh.
Fully
But
grown,
to the
totally
point,
graced.
when you're spoused, you feel like you're breaking a vow when you watch a show that you guys are binging on. That's a hard place
Oh,
to
right.
be.
Like you can't tell them. You have to watch it again so you
I
don't tell
know.
them that you already saw it.
Which is usually the problem in a relationship where things go wrong when you lie. And you're lying over something simple and sweet. So, caution.
Yes, and another thing that makes me really happy with this morning's podcast, now that we're back on YouTube, along with that, is that I'm having a good time because from things I've written that it's not been an easy year, and we're going to do a year-end show next. Are you available next Wednesday for the year-end
Oh,
show?
I am. I'll be doing it live from Connecticut or New York. Mark, we could do it together from New York live like we've done once when you were
But
in
you're here on the
Shreveport.
2nd. We have to do it before this.
Well, no, that's all changed, and we have to talk about that. We won't pull people into our calendars, but I'm going to be there the 26th and 27th. I think you may be out of town.
Yes, but yeah, we'll figure it out. But
Then-
anyways, let me tell
Then I'm
Twist.
coming back, so
Well, I got to make a note to Twisty, our intern. Twisty. That's the new name of our intern, our virtual intern, and our virtual.
What
green
happened to
room.
our old one? You had like June or Jean or Jenny or someone
Well,
once.
she's been accepted to Columbia Journalism
Fantastic.
School. So
I'm so proud.
it's always good to help people's careers get off the ground.
Yeah, well, Twisty. Who doesn't want an intern named Twisty?
Yeah.
I think it's great. But yeah, so next week, we're gonna do a year-end thing, and you are right. I mean, I got to tell you, I had it even happen last night. I said, well, I got to get home, get my beauty sleep because we're going live on YouTube tomorrow, and Mark and I got some things to talk about. And my friend looked me square in the eyes, just like this, just like that, and she said, you know what? I was listening to your last show, and you guys were so down on Trump, I had to turn you off. Then my friend, I have other friends that listen to us, as you know, my friend Ken, who was kind of the encouragement to bring the show back. He said, God, I had to turn you off. I usually love what Mark says, but Mark was just getting off too much, too angry. So,
Really?
Yeah, I know. So now we got to make things happy again.
Well,
It was a rough couple weeks.
We'll lighten up. We'll go more entertainment and culture and stuff. I guess I can understand that. And maybe there's it's. I think we should also, in this vein, we'll be focusing more on an entertainment show or an entertaining show, and not so much politics, because we have so many other avenues for that. And I know it can turn people off. And it also, I don't like getting angry, and I get angry when this stuff comes up.
Well,
Like
and
a
also,
lot.
I mean, I agree. But when people podcast or do radio talk shows or whatever they're doing, look at, God forbid, Susan Olsen, Cindy Brady. What happened to her? She just got a little upset off the thing. She lost her radio time, but she was just being who she is. And I think often when you're doing this kind of stuff, you're just also being who you are, and you can't not be transparent. And there are moments for anger.
Absolutely, and it's going to come up again. I mean, my God, we've got this incoming administration. I'm going to get pissed off again, and so are you. Because
Right.
on the other hand, I agree with you. I mean, I understand that, okay, it could be great on somebody, you turn that one off, but you can always listen to the next week. But you're right, I'm not going to censor myself. I'm not going to say something doesn't infuriate me when it does. I'll just try to be really sweet about it.
Well, and I think that's right. But there's a couple points. We are here for you, our listeners, because we're not just doing this for a session for ourselves. But number two, we really want to commit to being more twisted in our news delivery. So we could tell the story about what Mark and I really want to do, and that's why it's called Twisted, is find the news that's got a little bit of a twist. So even if it is about Trump and our anger toward Trump, it'll be a little twisted.
Is that your segue into the red lines?
No, but it's perfect segue. Yes.
It is. You ready for some red lines? The weekly red lines. Now that you've let me know that I have cost us listeners, it's okay. The free cash in Finland. You must be jobless. Finland will soon hand out cash to 2,000 jobless people, free of bureaucracy or limits on side earnings. The idea, universal basic income, is gaining traction nationwide. I mean, nationwide? Yeah. Oh, worldwide. Okay, we'll see. I don't think it's coming to the United States. But Comcast, I don't know if you have Xfinity or not, but Comcast is working together to create a home for LGBT storytelling. They have now they have an LGBT film and TV collection that includes love stories, coming out stories, inspirational stories, documentaries, international and award winners. And while not strictly LGBT, they are always have the enjoyable cult classics. So That's a
Nice.
good bravo to Xfinity. The best place in the world to be gay and single. And I think this is important because we live in a very coupled, child-centric culture. I think most countries are that way. But not everybody is in a relationship, and not everybody wants to be. And I wasn't for 16 years, and I just believe in being happy and not thinking your life is missing something. But anyways, the best place to be gay and single, according to Gay Cities, is Berlin. So there you go, Germany.
Maybe not so much this past week, but just saying.
Oh yeah, because of the thing over there.
Yeah.
Attack.
Bombing, yes.
Yes, Battle of the Bulge, how streaming censorship is affecting queer musicians. This was interesting because it actually does go to YouTube and other streaming outlets. But Arapo Miklo Blanco apparently was last week. His video was temporarily removed from YouTube, with him suggesting on Twitter that his art was being policed and demeaned, despite the video being a co-production with adult site Pornhub. The only threat to YouTube's nudity and sexual content guidelines look to be the fairly innocuous presence of a man's bulge. So, I think sometimes people assume and overreact to things, but we'll see. Key Trump ally.
Don't get angry.
No, I'm not. They and this is actually, I don't know how much of an ally or how close he is to Donald Trump, but it's Tony Perkins from the Family Research Council, who we know and love.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he's calling for the State Department to be, quote, purged of LGBT staff hired by the Obama administration.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but you can see why people have gotten so upset. It's really easy. I got to be careful. It's really easy when you don't know what it's like to be harassed or threatened or in danger. And we do. Sorry, that's the way it is.
And if you want to read more about it, people can go to your blog and read about it.
Well, they can read about it lots of places. They can read about it on the Huffington Post. They can read about it in the New York Times. I mean, most of these people, most of the people being appointed in the cabinet are demonstrably anti-LGBT. So there you go.
Fact check.
Oh, speaking of that, a wave of anti-LGBT bills seen in Republican-dominated state legislatures. Approximately 200 bills are in the pipeline to further disenfranchise us. Merry Christmas. Are we ready for this jelly? Fluorescent jellyfish may help solve our energy crisis. Biosolar researchers are working to put ultra-efficient polysynthesis to work to make clean, renewable power. And they're going to be using the jellyfish jelly.
That's weird.
As light cells. That was one of my twisted things, but we're not doing that this week.
I didn't know there was such a thing as jellyfish jelly.
Oh, are you ready for this jelly? Are you ready for jelly?
Can you eat this jelly?
Well, that's what they're called. I mean, they're called jellyfish because they're transparent, but they're made of something, and so whatever they're made of, they're going to try to make a renewable energy out of. And then finally,
that's twisted. Yeah.
That's twisted. Finally,
that is twisted.
The phenomenon of bud sex between straight rural men. Now, we've known about this with non-white guys for a long time because a lot of black men who have sex with men they don't call themselves gay, and they don't like that. So apparently, and I absolutely believe this because I've lived in a small town before, you got these country boys having sex with other country boys, but do not call them gay. They got wives, they got kids, they got church, and they got blowjobs out in the cornfield.
Well, there you go. Now that is twisted. Speaking of which, can I give a blowjob to Santa Claus? If I go like this, it's like you eat the bunny's ears off at Easter. Yeah. What if you start with the bulge of Santa Claus like this?
But that's his stomach. I don't see anything.
Oh.
I see a belt.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's making too much noise, but...
He'll melt in your mouth.
You know what? I'm gonna re-gift this. I don't need this chocolate, do I?
No, but whoever you give it to, I hope doesn't watch this show.
Oh, my God. I was going to bring it to you, Mark.
Now, I just lost your video.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, are you there?
There you are. That was fun. That's like a sound effect.
Well, when you use your phone, because that's what I'm using on my laptop, sometimes, when you're a busy person, things will come in to play. But yes, so Christmas is upon us, folks. So are you feeling the spirit? I talked to a friend yesterday, and she was at the Dollar Tree where, you can get everything for $1. Price checks don't happen there, although there are some ignorant people that shop there and want to price check something, and it's like everything's $1. But anyway, she said everything was off the shelf, so lines were packed. I'm like, it's only 4 days away or 5 days away. Everyone's doing things last minute, it feels, doesn't it?
Well, Frank and I decided after years of lots of presents and stocking stuffers and everything to just scale back because we're moving, we're getting older, and I don't want more stuff. So I only buy presents for two people, and I'm sorry you're not one of them. It's for Frank and my sister Kathy. Those are the only people I now buy presents for. So I'm not doing any last minute stuff, but I know the rest of the world is. I mean, if you go out onto Fifth Avenue, it's mobbed.
It's crazy. And, like when you say that, so this is proof in the pudding if you're thinking of being like Mark or myself this year. It's not bah humbug. You said that, and you think, I'm offended, I'm not getting a gift from you. I'm actually kind of grateful. What do I need with one more thing?
Your gift is my undying love.
That's it. And that's what it should be from friend to friend, bro.
Absolutely. Plus, we give each other, what do we give each other? Well, like when you're here or something, I'll give you something. I don't know.
Well, no, we go out to eat, and no, that's true. I mean, it sounds stupid, but that's what my friends and I say. Let's spend some time together because time is precious.
And I stopped doing cards years ago because I just don't. Oh my God. I don't enjoy it. It's too much work, and I don't have anybody's addresses anymore. It's all emails.
And then when people text you and say, can you send your address? You know damn right what they're doing. So it's just, why didn't you just text me Merry Christmas? Why do you want it? But a lot of people want to show off, like I'm looking at my cards here. They want to show off their kids, and I get that. Look how beautiful that family is. I know it may be hard to see.
Where's the
parents?
I
didn't get permission to well, they're not in there. They're just showing the ages of their
orphans?
3 boys. No. It's friends of mine, and my friends are awesome. Or here, like for instance, I love this one. This is from my cousin Wendy and her husband Mike. But you also get these cards, and they're not, they're all pre-printed, so there's no place to sign or anything. But she is awesome. I love my cousin. She hand wrote a little Post-it and stuck it on there, and then stuck it in an envelope.
Yeah, so it is thoughtful, and a lot of people like doing it. And I would never rain on their Christmas parade. It's just not something I do anymore. I used to, but it's like, oh shit. My hand would hurt. It's just like the same card with a different name on it over and over and over, and then I got to mail them. And
I know. Being on the recipient side, I do like them. I like to put them on my table and kind of look at them, put them in a little container thing. But there's also, which is even worse, Mark, is this e-cards or whatever. That's even worse. And now they've grown to be, so someone in my family sent me one, and it was like, I felt obliged to listen to the whole thing. Should they say, hey, did you get my e-card? And they're like 22 minutes long now. They go on forever. Sleigh rides. I had to watch ice skating.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. And we have stockings with our names on them. They're customized stockings, which are really cool. But they're empty this year because Frank said we're not doing the stocking stuffers.
But the
stockings are cute.
Yeah.
And my biggest Christmas present, because we won't be talking again until after Christmas, my cat is healthy. We got 2 cats left. I had to euthanize another one this year. But anyways, Jessie, she's been with me for a long time. Sleeps right next to me. She had a liver scare, some kind of liver problem. And I just assumed that this was going to be the end of it because I've never had a cat get better. But she got better, and I could not be happier. There's a lot of stuff. It's been a really trying year, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm really happy about. I'm really happy that I have the time now to be super creative when I'm not being really, really angry. And
Mark.
I'm kidding. No, I want to apologize. I'm sorry.
I know you're not. You know what I'm impressed with?
Will you tell them to come back?
Well, they're back. I told them. I told both of them. Listen in this week. We're doing a new thing, YouTube. Welcome back, Lynn. Welcome back, Ken. They're here.
Yeah, you guys, I'm sorry. And I know this is part of, but you know what, too? They have an absolute point, and then I'll leave it alone. Because I got shingles. I had shingles like 3 weeks ago.
Yes, I know.
It was horrible. And I knew that it was from the whole year of stress and the whole year of getting upset. And I said in my own learning process, I'm done getting really, really upset about this stuff. I mean, I got opinions, I got stuff that I can do to take actions, but I'm not going to poison my mind and my body with all of this. I don't watch the news anymore. I read the news all the time, but I almost never watch the news on television anymore because it just upsets me. I just want to throw things at the television.
I know. I'm starting the new year right, too. I'm getting in the jovial spirit, keeping things happy, and you know what I'm grateful for this Christmas? That I don't have to put up with any more of this. If you ever had this thing called aspic, did you grow up with like, so the better way to describe it is like, because you're from Indiana and I'm from Wisconsin, like these Jell-O molds with marshmallows.
I got cat food that's in aspic. It's like tuna bits in aspic.
Yes, yeah. So do you remember when they served like tomato aspic?
No.
Oh, God. And when you're speaking of jellyfish, it was like a moldable jelly from gelatin and stock. It was very popular in the 50s and 60s. And unfortunately, my household will last a little longer. Or Yeah, I'm just grateful I don't have to have that be a part of my meal anymore. But there's still weird stuff sometimes at the holidays they come out with.
Yes, and the fruit cakes. The
Oh,
like the rock solid fruit cakes.
girl, there will always be fruitcakes.
Yes, you're looking at them.
But you are right. That's one of those. Which one? I'm seeing both of us on this video right now.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the way I look.
I do too. I think you look. I think if people were looking at us right now, they would say you're the fruitier of the two of us. But if I think they met us, they might still say that. What do you think?
They would, and you know, I don't know if I should say this, but one of the reasons I'm excited to be back on YouTube, to go back on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
is that the videos are monetized now. You got to be careful because you cannot have. You just got to be careful with that stuff. But there's ads on the video, which is like, okay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Well, that's cool. And Mark warned me I can't go clicking on those ads.
No,
Because
that's the last thing I will ever do is violate their policies, because it happened to me a few years ago, 5-6 years ago, and it's not a mistake I'm going to make again. So
it's crazy.
People are going to know
Hey,
they're there because they see it. You got to, it's there when you go to the video, but it's
Oh,
exciting.
that's true. That's true. How are we doing on time? It's kind of a new format for us, so I want to make sure we're doing okay.
We're at 21, and then I think there was some blather at the beginning. I got to cut.
Well, and I might say I wanted to, I'm the food critic here and the food person. No, I'll just throw it in. I'm talking about trends, and I shared with Mark a couple stories today. What food trends are going out in 2016 and what are coming in 2017? These were compiled by the going out list. I think was actually from Bon Appetit, and the coming in trends were actually from what's trending on Pinterest. What foods and things are coming. So I think they're based in some good things. The guys from Bon Appetit that put together the goodbye avocado toast and goodbye what else are they hitting on this year? The things they don't like are also the guys that put together the top 10 restaurants of the year. And there's one I found in New York, Mark. I mean, we may have to go. I know you don't enjoy wine like I enjoy wine, but
I don't.
if you are in New
not at all.
Yeah, of course. But, I make up for that for the two of us.
Yes.
Wild Air, it's called. It's in the East Village. It's all the seats are at the level. The concept of it is they're all like bar top seats, because they want everybody to look like the bartender and the server in the eye because they feel it's a better way to go. And apparently you go in there and great foods, but apparently if you're in New York City, it's the place to go. One of the things they said is going out this year too, and I'm sure you've had it in your recent travels because Vegas is one of the best food cities, is have you ever had a server say to you, do you know how our menu works, or can I explain how our menu works? Have you ever had that?
I have, but I've never thought about it. But like, I didn't know menus worked.
That's
is that
exactly
your point?
it. Yeah. So they're saying these guys from Bon Appetit, it's like that trend has to go away this year because yes, you look at the appetizers
it
if you want
works.
an
You open
appetizer.
it, you read it. That's how it works.
I dare you. I dare you to slam back at a server when they ask you that next time.
No.
Can't you see I'm working it? Well, yeah, this toast with half avocado, that was a big trend
Oh, I
this
love
year.
that.
You do?
They want to get rid of it or keep it?
They're just saying they hope it's over with.
Oh,
Edibles. Okay. Edibles. With this being the year that edible marijuana is really past, they're saying these are a mess up, Just roll a joint.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I would be willing to try is an edible. I don't like getting stoned.
Yeah, but they say with edibles you can control how powerful that stone is or whatever.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I would be more interested.
It's bad.
Because I took a little taste back in August.
Control it. And the other thing
and I didn't like it. I didn't like being buzzed at all.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that either. The other trend going away, they hope, is these things called zoodles. I actually like zoodles. You know what they are?
Noodles from the zoo.
Well, close. Noodles from vegetables. Like you take a zucchini and you make it into a noodle, or spaghetti squash.
My sister's sending us a spiralizer. It's great. You like make
That's it.
Spaghetti out of it. I love that because you can eat stuff that is healthier, but it looks like spaghetti.
Well, I hate to tell you, she's so 2016.
I'm making you some. I'm making you some.
You'll make some zoodles as my Christmas gift, Mark? That would be fun. The trend's coming in. Get this, if you want to substitute, speaking of substituting, jackfruit. Now, I see it in cans all the time in Asian stores, but a jackfruit, they say, that's the number one trending thing on Pinterest for 2017. What it is a substitute for like pork. Like you eat it like pulled pork or on top of tacos or something. You can use jackfruit. Just letting people know it's a little twisted, but it's trending in this new year.
Does it come with an orgasm?
Dead silence.
Jackfruit.
Why would you? Oh, Mark. We might move on to our final thought, but I got to squeeze this in. Octopus, because I did post it on our Facebook page. Folks, you can follow us on The Twist Podcast.com on Facebook. And I put a picture of an octopusy on there, and I said, I'm going to teach Mark how to eat octopusy. It's trending this year. They're saying octopus is in. I want to give you the way I prepare it. Now, have you ever prepared octopus?
No, and I don't know what the difference is from that and calamari, except that it's chopped up.
Well, calamari is technically squid, right?
Oh,
and
I didn't know
octopus is
that.
octopus.
I thought it was calamari. I didn't know what it was.
No, calamari is squid, and this is octopus. And octopus has a beak, so when you clean it, it sounds really gross, but you got to pull this.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, go skip that over that.
Okay. Well, also, so there's two ways to prepare it. You might want me to skip on this, but if you want it to look like restaurant quality, when you poach it is one way to do it. You put the testicles in the water. You got to dip the testicle in the hot water like 3 times. It's dead.
Not while it's good. As long as it's dead.
No, it's dead. But I think people are going to find this interesting, Mark. So try the octopus, but when you're poaching it, it's great poached, but clean the beak off. When you poach it, you got to dip that testicle like 3 times in the hot water, and it'll curl it really pretty like you get at a restaurant when you have octopus. But the way I like to do it, and then I'll wrap up our food trends, Mark.
The tentacles.
Did I call them testicles?
You said testicles. It's tentacles. I'm like, what's he curling your testicles?
I did not say it. Did I really?
Yes, you did.
Okay, you're beat red. And I was trying so hard because in my head I'm going, say the right word, Rick. I really was.
Okay,
it came out
you
testicles.
did it. I know you got testicles on the brain, but it's tentacles.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Must be that Santa Claus blowjob. Anyway, back to my point. I like to slow cook foods. And you can slow cook it in white wine, guys. It takes several hours, and it's really beautiful. But when you do that, what they do in Italy, this is really twisted. You put the cork of the wine in with the wine that the octopus is cooking in, and it really gives a great flavor.
Corky. Oh, cork taste. Are we ready for the final thoughts? Yeah,
I am. You're on.
You are. Your sound is a little out of sync. Just my final thoughts this week are about Christmas and about families of choice, which has also come into my thoughts lately because of everything that's happened this year. Tiptoeing around that a little bit, but being a gay person, I'm sure you are familiar with this whole concept, and a lot of LGBT people don't have families. I mean, some of them are rejected, especially trans people are, I think, at high risk of that. So your family over the years really becomes the people that you choose to have in your life. And I just want to, that's my final topic, is that because we're going to see my sister, my birth sister, for Christmas, and that's really nice. Christmas Eve we'll be there. And that's family. And we saw my sister in Ojai, and that's family. But we also saw Kenny and Carlos, especially, Kenny's been my friend for 30 years, and you were all my family of choice. So I'll never feel like I don't have a family no matter what happens, because I've got you folks. And that's just something I'm just putting out there for this Christmas season, that because people sometimes get sad. You read about that. Christmas can be a very sad time. By the way, why do so many Christmas songs make me want to kill myself? I mean, Christmas songs can be very, very depressing, but everybody, if you've got folks in your life, celebrate your families of choice, spend time with them, value them, and remember that that's all the family you really need.
That's powerful, Mark. And final thoughts, no comment, and I totally agree. That leads us into our quote. We like to end our show with a quote, and since you've challenged me, you kind of helped me decide what that end quote will be, because it is from a Christmas song, our holiday song. Its intention is not to depress you. It's actually a great quote, and I've already posted in our Facebook as the quote of the week. I don't know if you saw it yet. But it comes from, the quote is actually from Ralph Blaine. He introduced the song in the movie Meet Me in St. Louis. I don't know if people know that. It's the song Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It's written by Hugh Martin, Ralph Blaine, introduced by Judy Garland in the 44 MGM musical Meet Me in St. Louis. Frank Sinatra, of course, recorded later years. It was also recorded by Josh Groban. In 2004, it was finished number 76 in the best 100 years of music. So it's a song that's really great. And I think here's why it's so great, Mark. And it's a quote that I want to end with. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away.
I love that song, and it always makes me want to cry. So you have a Merry Christmas, Rick. We'll be back, everybody, for our year-end show,
Yes.
Best of, Worst of, Queerest of 2016. And yeah, Rick, thank your friends for the input, because I do take it seriously. As a writer, I do the same thing. I will get feedback from people and become a better writer. So hopefully this will help me to be a more conscious podcaster.
Well, you can thank them now. Thank them.
Thank you. What were their names?
You don't have Ken and Lynn.
Ken and Lynn, thank you so much for teaching me. That's the other thing. I'm always teachable, and I like that. So
That's true.
I'll see you next week, Rick. Literally, we'll see you next week. Everybody,
we'll work that out.
Yep,
Get
we're on
Twisted to give me a call.
YouTube, SoundCloud, Libsyn, iTunes. We're everywhere. The Twist Podcast, America's only
clothing optional
podcast.
Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas.